When I first heard of SeniorSMART, I was overwhelmed because my mother had recently died, and I thought, had we had this available then, she could have done what she wanted to and stay in her home instead of living for about 10 years in a nursing home.
I don't want to become a wheelchair person. I don't want to become stale. I just want to grow. If I don't do it now, when will I do it?
SeniorSMART developed really as a group of people began to look at what we could do to make lives better for older adults. What can we do in relationship to technologies? What can we do related to community supports to keep people independent in their homes?
It gives me a peace of mind.
I volunteer with SeniorSMART because I believe that with their research and the studies, they are producing methods to improve and maintain the health of the senior citizens.
I have 5 children, all of them want me to come live with them. I refuse. I've got this little adventuresome spirit in me.
One of the great strengths in this program is its very interdisciplinary focus. From the very beginning, it was realized that for older people to remain in their homes as independently as possible and to develop the technologies that would enable them to do that, we had to bring together disciplines of engineering and brain sciences as well as social work.
And as we looked at that, we figured out 3 areas where we could make a difference. One area is in the area of brain function, because if your brain's not functioning well, then you're unlikely to be able to be independent. So we call that SmartBrain. The second area has to do with the home environment, because people want to be able to stay in their own home for as long as possible. So we call that SmartHome. And then the third one we call SmartWheels, and it focuses on driving issues, transportation issues, and keeping people mobile.
When Joe and I got together, I had a motorcycle. I coaxed her to getting on it one day and riding, and after sending pictures to her son, why, they just couldn't believe it.
I was teaching at South Carolina State. I was in the classroom and I felt a little faint. So I left the classroom, went to the men's room to put a little water on my face. And when I proceeded to leave the men's room, felt like I only could lift up 1 foot, and I fell at that time. And within the next 10 minutes or so, I looked up and I had several of my students standing over me. And then a few minutes later, the ambulance, the EMS came and got me and took me to Orangeburg Regional Hospital. I had what's called a right hemisphere stroke, so it affected your left side. So my entire left side was paralyzed, my arm and my legs. Well, before I went to the USC program, I was primarily using the wheelchair to get around. The clinic was on the 3rd floor, so the first day I went there, I walked up the 3 flights to the clinic. So that was the first amazing thing. I didn't think I could do that.
Everything that he did, whether it was bathing, dressing, eating, getting in and out of a chair, even to go to the table, I always had to help him do so because he wasn't able to do it himself. But once he went to the program, it really allowed him a mobility that he didn't have before.
USC's role in this is to take a number of different technologies and see how that can impact the well-being of a person living at home.
There's a sensor that's being developed that's been only used in bridge technologies, and they're adapting it for the detection of falls. Then it's going to move further upstream to the prediction of falls, to prevent falls. I decided to bring my research in my company because of the promise of the University of South Carolina. It's an incredible institution that has as its motivation and core values to bring together a group of people who together are going to try to solve the problems of an aging population.
My hopes for SeniorSMART is that it will be the internationally known Center for Older Adult Independence. This is going to be the place where we have the scientists, the researchers, the physicians, and all the other personnel that make bringing products to market and developing products that that will really help older people to stay independent. That's really my dream.